Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am Carolyn Lewis, and this is FBMD Faith by My Deeds. And I hope that everyone has been enjoying this day. I hope you had a very blessed day. Um, I don't know what's going on with that. I am going to discuss family today. Family, the disappointments, having patience with family, and basically just the ins and outs of working with your loved ones. I don't understand why this is not working correctly. Hmm. Okay. All right. So I just have to share. Um, Sometimes family does have a way of not quite meeting the expectations that we set up to think that our family should have. First of all, we'll get used to putting our thoughts or our expectations onto another person when that's not how things should be. All right, this shouldn't be. You should learn that person, know that individual, and know the ins and outs and how you relate and how they're going to relate to other people. Know what makes them more active with the family, what makes them withdraw and pull back, and also be willing to love without holding a tight fist around someone. In other words, allowing them to love you freely, allowing them to have that range or decision where they can't say later, you made me stay, you made me do this, or whatever the case may be, knowing that they may be making a mistake that pushes family and friends away, knowing that they may be doing things that could cause them trouble in the long run, whether it be with their health or with their freedom or with their money. Sometimes, and depending on the age and the situation, you might have to just let people make their own mistakes. That's why I'm always saying train up, train up, train up a child, but then also spending quality time with that child so that you can instill into them and have that influence on a child and in their life, because it's going to come a point in time the child wants to be out with friends and less at home. But you need to instill while they're young family. That's the cousins, the siblings, respecting their grandparents and going to see them and learning from them as well. But what do you do when someone is not the husband or not the wife, not the mother or the father that you need, want, or expected that individual to be? Did you have an unprecedented expectation of this person? Is it something that you was expecting that's out of that individual's range of thought process capabilities? Not that it's out of range for any mother, any father, or any husband or wife, but it's the capabilities in that individual. What was their upbringing? What was their expectations? These are some of the things you must talk about as well before marrying someone, how they view marriage and what their expectations is and what they expect from you and what they expect to have to give back themselves. And then children, how do you want to rear the children? What do you want to do for his money, gifts, education, uh, and family involvement do you want to have with the children, or that they expect to have? How many children? What kind of education? Are they going to public school, private school? Is it going to be um, home base? What do you want to do and teach? Are you going to be out in an area where the kid has more free range to get out and explore and learn? Or are you going to be in a community where everything is either got to be a certain way, a cookie cutter, nothing out of the ordinary, where they're most likely, if they're experienced experimental children, or those who like to get out and play or may get into some mischief, not saying any criminal mischief, but just do something you as a parent has said not do. Will that lead the law into being involved, or will that lead into you and a neighbor not getting along? So what do you do if, let's go with the wife first, you marry someone and expect that he's going to be the priest, protector, provider, and that his love will always reign over you, and that you expect for him to be there to help lead and guide you. Now, what if he's thinking, um, well, we're married, you're an adult like I am, just go on and do whatever needs to be done at home, but you got to work out of the home and come back and help with this as well? Are you going to have that expectation of, well, I was going to put up and store and pay something on this or that, and then plan for our vacations or for our savings and for our retirement, and I thought you was going to do this or that? Or they disappoint you about the amount of times they spend with friends, the amount of times that they stay gone after work, because you do have some individuals, especially men's, women work, come home, men want to spend time out after work, whether it be stopping to have a drink or stopping to go to Lowe's, whatever it is, before coming home, have some downtime before they get home. Did you two talk about that and discuss that beforehand? Did you know that was his thing? Or coming in and want to take a nap instead of coming in and jump straight on chores, or jumping straight into doing homework with the kids or preparing dinner? These things can cause disappointment because you feel like, I'm being cheated, I was lied to, this is not what I signed up for. But all these things come back to a form of, you need to communicate and be open, and also be flexible in what you expect, so that you two can come to an agreement. Because what? How can two walk together unless they agree? Um, Working things out to the point that it's good, not only just for the husband and wife, but it trickles down to the youth, to our kids, and being that mother and father that the kids need, or have developed in their mind how they want you to be. Now, you can't always be, if they want this happy go lucky, let's go play all the time parent. Of course, you cannot do that. A child needs a parent, a guidance, someone that's going to hold them accountable, someone who's going to be there to provide and be that individual for them that helps lead them in their way. Not always someone to play and cut up with and see as my friend. What do you do when the parent is not there and the child expect for it to? Say if you never married that child's parent, it was never in the cards for you two, but you did say you would co-parent. Now, what if one of the parents do not co-parent well, or they're always angry and starting up something? Or as if a father that does not come around, can't come around, or whatever the situation may be. This child can easily take that upon himself to feel neglected, angry, hurt, needing the same sex guidance to see how to model himself. Who am I is a thing that kids will start asking themselves. Who am I? And what is the other half of me like? So, in that, and if it is a case of mom and dad can't get along, so we stay apart, then mom and dad, you're doing that child a great injustice by not agreeing to co-parent and coming to a mutual understanding, whether if it's who's going to pay for what, the visitations, the holidays. Please come up with an agreement. And I know a lot of people go through the court systems to get there, but there are some people who do not go through the court system and make those agreements amongst each other. But the hurt of that child who does not have that parent that will show up for homework time, show up for the games, call on a regular basis, or come see them on a regular basis to teach them about life, to talk to them about respect and honor and work ethics and being who you are and what you see in this person and the hopes and dreams that you have for them, just being there as a parent on a regular basis, that can cause that child a whole lot of anger that turns inward for that child. Uncles, older siblings, grandparents, if you see this going on in your family, please step in and step up to the plate to offer the guidance that our young men and young women need. Um, there's a lot the body goes through. You have the point where you're underdeveloped, then you're developing, and then nowadays some girls are just not overdeveloping, but developing well, and they need guidance on how to carry themselves, to understand what they may be feeling within their body and why the changes are taking place, and what to do and how to carry themselves, as well as young men need to know how to carry themselves because their body also is going through changes, and it both need to be taught in a manner that respects self and others. The disappointment for the young men and women whose parent is not there, whether it be a mother or father, because it's not always a father who is not there. There's a lot who have mothers that are not there, or mothers who are not really emotionally and mentally able of being there for that child. These things are hurtful. And if you don't realize that it's not your fault what this adult did, then you'll internalize that, and you either become them or become worse than they are, or hinder yourself from actually having an attachment to be able to love others and yourself properly. So let's make sure you get someone you can talk to, trust, or reach out to a different relative or a church member, someone that can help lead and guide you. And for those who are leading someone for their family or immediate, that is another area in which I help in. So you can definitely reach out to the number that's going to be to the side or it's on my page and contact me or inbox me. But this is a very delicate time for a child, and they do need to know how to care for themselves, how to handle the thought process and the feelings that they're going through, as well as knowing what to expect for others and how to handle that disappointment that you get from, dang, why don't they love me? Why are they not here for me? Or did my other parent run them off? Or what happened? All the thoughts and concerns that this child may have. Sometimes it's not a matter of the other parent running anyone off. They grew apart, they never was totally there, but you're here and having to learn how to compromise and be the best that they can for the child is where the parents need to focus, but a child need to focus on, okay, I need to focus on me, what I need, my schoolwork, any sports to keep me occupied, and most of all, learning how to seek Him so that you can still feel love and void that you may feeling the absent from your parents during the arguments from your parents. Looking inward to self and learning yourself, which is all some things that I could cover with you or help you through if that is a situation in which you find yourself in. Family members, turn to them. You may have to find that uncle or that aunt that can help guide you. You may have to spend more time with your grandparents, but do something to get the love and attention you need and the guidance. Because even after you're 18, 21, any of your 20s or 30s, that parent or that figure from an aunt and uncle, they are older and there's still going to be some things that they've gone through and experienced that you haven't, that you can learn from them with. So one thing is learning not to carry your anger from another individual, another time in your life on into your future. It can hinder you from prosperity. It can hinder you from learning and achieving what you want and desire to achieve. It can hinder you from being the person that you need and want to be. So again, yes, family is not perfect, and well, no family is perfect, but sometimes when that disappointment comes, you can be hurt by that unless you be willing to forgive and learn yourself enough to go forward in a manner that would be prosperous unto you. I'm going to end this here. My name is Carolyn Lewis. This is FBMD, Faith by My Deeds. And I hope that you have heard something today that you can use. Isn't this something? There we go.